It's like 4 in the morning. I couldn't sleep. In 2 hours, I'm about to do something I've never
Two. It's
done
already on. One.
before. September 23rd, 2023. I leave my home never to return. I'm moving across the country from Missouri to Maryland. That's 12 hours, 850 miles. I say goodbye to my dog, my family, my friends, and I pack what I can fit into my car. Was I scared? You betcha. But if you spend your life avoiding scary things, you might not do anything at all. With no gas in my car, a car full of things, and a heart full of dreams, I hit the road. I'd be lying if I said I didn't cry, but I did not cry. There's no time to cry when you got 4 hours to drive. First stop is Indianapolis. You see, I'm not driving all 12 hours in one go. Oh, no, 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 no. That seems terrible. Instead, I've taken my 12-hour drive and broke it down. Now it's a 4-day drive, accented by daily trips to a different city's zoo. So this trip is 4 zoos in 4 days. You might be asking, why are you going to all these zoos? You see, that's me. That dinosaur. I used to look different. I used to have a beard, and on top of that, I used to work at the St. Louis Zoo. For nearly 2 years, I was spending time around and working with these awesome animals stingrays, gorillas, red pandas, and so many more. Plus, I was meeting all kinds of people from all over the globe. In this time, I came to see how people take pride in their local zoos and how they help people create wonderful memories that last a lifetime. Not to mention the incredible conservation work done by zoos across the country. It was a year full of beautiful moments. Well, it isn't every day you move across the country, and I had barely been to another zoo before. I thought about not taking Interstate 70, avoiding Ohio entirely, and heading south, but as soon as I saw it, the 4 zoos in 4 days, I knew what my trip needed to be. I knew my general way. I decided what to get rid of and what could stay. After the emotional labor of it all, honestly, the rest of the trip seemed like a breeze. Interstate 70 would take me most of the way. From St. Louis to Indianapolis, I had traveled many times. I attended university in Muncie, Indiana. I had lived alone during my university days, but my current adventure was on a much grander scale. The rest of the way was uncharted territory by yours truly, including 3 new cities. It was the Lou to Indy, Indy to Cincy, Cincy to Columbus, and Columbus to the Pit. 4 major accredited zoos in 4 days, and gee whiz was I looking forward to it. These major life events always kind of make you think about other major life events and what has led you up to this moment. If you aren't careful, you might end up thinking about some old civilization. To avoid getting lost as such, I'll reminisce on packing my car instead. It was a bright afternoon. I have to move fast because I don't want the video to be too long. All of my belongings, like memories of a lifetime, carefully sorted down into what I can fit in my car. I take only the books that make me look smart. I bring my CD collection, but leave the DVDs. I leave behind my trusty old tent. It has a broken pole. I have a new one that's a little bigger and a little warmer. Sometimes knowing what to keep and what to get rid of is intuitive. Other times, it just doesn't make any sense. You shouldn't carry around something that slows you down. Don't hold on to something that doesn't serve you. I'd been driving all morning. Most driving in a single day was on this very first day. It wasn't difficult though because I knew the route. Like I always found this overpass to be very pleasing when I would drive back to school. I had always heard that the Indianapolis Zoo had dolphins while I was attending university, yet there was never a time to make the trip. As I near the Indianapolis Zoo, it feels like I'm finally checking this item off some bucket list I mentally made over the years.
Hey, I'm out here, just about 15 minutes from the zoo. First stop of the day. Drank a lot of coffee, you know how it goes. We're gonna get there. See you soon.
I thought I could make it all in one trip, but I was wrong. What am I going to do? Pee my pants? Yeah, fat chance. I'm never afraid to stop on a road trip. I've been driving for 4 hours, and I finally reached my destination. First things first, make a game plan. I take a quick look at the map and I'm off. I hit up the visitor center. I get the lowdown. I get a map. I get the dolphin show times. I purchase my tickets. I'm ready to see some animals. The entrance is full of pumpkins. They're setting up for their Halloween event. We start the day right away with a macaw and a snake. Next, we head into a glass building full of large plants. Only great things could be in such a place, and there are great things. Bonsai trees. Who would have thunk it? I love bonsai trees. They're so tiny, yet they look like full-grown trees. Wow, what an incredible display of temperance and beauty! The entire building was full of beautiful plants, too many to name, and tiny butterflies flitted around. They had an upstairs, too, and that was even more beautiful than the ground floor. I could have spent all day in there just thinking about bonsai trees, but I cannot. There's plenty of zoo to see, and I barely even entered. You see, I'm on a very tight schedule. I left St. Louis at 6 a.m., arrived in Indianapolis at 10:30 a.m. I'm already behind. I have a hotel reservation for tonight in Cincinnati, and I don't want to drive in the dark. That gives me only 5.5 hours to see and do everything in the Indianapolis Zoo. No time to dilly nor dally with bonsai trees. There's too much to see. My first visit, and I'm already going to have to visit again. They're building an international chimpanzee complex, whatever that means, and I'd like to see it. Modern zoos are constantly improving facilities and techniques for the betterment of animal health and visitor enjoyment. It's exciting to see what will happen next. First real attraction of the day is the Oceans Building, and as you can guess, it's a bunch of fish. I think it's really messed up we're overfishing the oceans and pumping them full of poison. It's really uncool of us. Fish are survivors, though. One of those many families of ish, if you believe in such a thing, is bound to make it through the worst of it. Take sharks and rays. They've been around for 400 million years. They probably aren't going anywhere. Though consider the trilobite. Never say never, I guess. I typically don't like putting my hands into the ray pools. Makes me smell like fish, and sticky, so I typically just watch. I don't really eat fish, but I do like sushi. A penguin doesn't worry about that, though. I've seen these things gulp down fish half their size. They don't even got teeth. Penguins also aren't overfishing the oceans, though. Lots to consider.
So they have a walrus, but it's off exhibit right now, so I'm off to find the dolphins. Wish me luck.
I did have luck. The dolphins are in a giant building right next to the Oceans Building. Now, after years of wondering, I was finally able to see what these dolphins are all about.
Over on the left with Sydney, we've got the other littlest baby. His name is Trooper. Next to Sydney, we have Trent, and he'll be hanging out with the Queen Nova. In the middle with Amy, we have Miss Calypso. And last but not least, Kelly will be hanging out with Miss Minnie. Today you're going to see the dolphins do amazing things, like swim at speeds of up to 20 miles per hour. You may even see them jump as high as 14 feet off the surface of the water. You're also going to see how we keep them happy and healthy and why they make such wonderful ambassadors for marine mammals all around the world.
It was incredible to see the dolphins. I'm not trying to hype it up too much, but it was the best thing I'd seen all day. Way better than that highway overpass. I had never seen a dolphin before, and it was magical. I was so happy. That's one cetacean down. Next I'll have to see a whale or something. After oceans comes the desert. We find ourselves in a bucket ball with the lizards and the snakes and the tortoises and the meerkats. If you were wanting to see reptiles at the Indianapolis Zoo, this is the place to go. I mean, just look at that guy! I didn't always like reptiles. When I first started at the St. Louis Zoo, I avoided going into the herpetarium because, reptiles just don't move much and I get bored so easily. But over time, I did grow to appreciate certain aspects of the reptilian condition.
You're fine.
I mean, look at this pretty dude. I did block some kid's view to get this shot, but I think it was totally worth it. Couldn't even tell you what kind of snake it is, but I could tell you that the Indianapolis Zoo has a roller coaster.
I know, but
They also have a lift called the Skyline, and you could potentially wave to an orangutan swinging alongside next to you. It wouldn't wave back because they don't understand what that means. After seeing a couple orangutans, I found my way over to the crocodilian section at the Indianapolis Zoo. I caught an educational program about American alligators, I learned their names, and I learned that the revival of the species was aided by alligator farms releasing alligators into the wild to help the wild population. That's interesting. But really, I kind of tuned out because I was thinking about a peanut butter and jelly sandwich I had in my bag, but I kept seeing signs that said no outside food, and I didn't want to get caught eating and kicked out, so I didn't eat anything. I just went to the plains. The plains is a long winding path with large track habitats along either side and smaller habitats dotted throughout. What you will see here is what you might find on the African Serengeti, big mammals and a few big cats. We'd start off with some giraffes. People are always trying to personify animals. I'm guilty of it myself. I guess it makes a person smile to think about why an animal might do one thing or the other. In a lot of ways, we're just out here trying to make connections with animals, with others, and with the world at large. I think every single one of us is a little bit concerned with the impact we leave. This will sometimes lead us to talk to complete randos, like spilling your guts to the lady at Whole Foods, or like this guy talking about the rhinoceros.
If these guys decide to charge you, you're gonna pay. Big time. With interest.
Did he plan on saying that? Or was he just so provoked by seeing a sleeping rhinoceros that he had to let us all know still how dangerous they can be? The zoo is always about making connections. Sometimes we get so wrapped up in our own worlds we stop seeking connection. We stop personifying animals. Without connections, our lives lose meaning. Little moments are nice. They can brighten someone's day, or maybe a few little moments is what it takes for someone to overcome great adversity. In the long run, it takes more than little moments though. There has to be the stuff in between, and that's where the real meat of it lies. You gotta connect or something. Life is a marathon, not a sprint, so you have to find those things that fuel you. You can play the game as much or as little as you want, but if a cheetah's chasing you, you don't have to be the fastest, you only have to be not the slowest.
So I had to race a cheetah, I just had to.
After failing to beat that day's speed record, I had to start considering the continuation of my journey. The Indianapolis Zoo was a lot of fun, but I still had 2 hours left of driving for today until my hotel in Cincinnati. I should have been exhausted, but I barely felt a tinge of weary. It felt like I could make this drive with ease, and the sandwich waiting for me afterwards propelled me onwards. Next up were some elephants, and it kind of looked like they were dancing. You can pay to have a real intimate experience with the elephants, but I just had a regular experience instead. Maybe on another trip I'll go behind the scenes. For now, I'm happy just experiencing all the new things at the Indianapolis Zoo. I'm kind of acting like I've never seen a zoo before, but that's alright. I'm trying to look at the world without judgment. I'm trying to be open to being amazed or terrified by whatever life throws at me. I'm trying to be grateful for the opportunity to have opportunities. It's not a bad thing to be open to the possibilities of life. It could lead to new paths and new adventures. Even this move is an opportunity. What might I be able to glean about myself through the process? I've been looking for my purpose. Maybe this move is an opportunity to discover that. Some advice from a cat is to pounce on opportunities, but at the end of the day, a cat sleeps 18 hours. They probably miss a lot of opportunities because they're asleep. Of course they would have to jump on the first opportunity that comes along. What am I even saying right now? It's the end of the day, and my brain isn't functioning properly from lack of food. Even the animals are turning in. And I decide now is as good a time as ever to end my trip to the Indianapolis Zoo.
I just finished the Indianapolis Zoo. Pretty good zoo. Next stop is Cincinnati. We got about 2 hours to go. They want to let me eat my sandwich inside, so I got to eat out here in the car. We're gonna get on the road right after this, and then we'll be in a hotel tonight.
And just like that, we hit the road. We have 2 hours to Cincinnati. So sit back and enjoy the ride. We're going to be taking a look at the train ride at the Indianapolis Zoo. All aboard! The train ride gives you some glimpses into animal habitats, but the real show is seeing the behind-the-scenes action of the zoo. There's a lot that goes into operating a world-class zoo, from veterinary care to building and maintenance, that the average zoogoer might not think about. The train ride shows you some spaces that might be underappreciated, but are very important to the operations of the Indianapolis Zoo. And suddenly we're in Ohio. If you've never traveled by yourself before, I highly recommend. it can be quite a fun experience, and it's a great confidence boost. You're wholly 360 miles away from where you started, and that's degrees of progress. It's a nice feeling. I started the morning feeling a little scared, and I'm finishing my day feeling like I could accomplish anything. And I'm wondering, what lies in store for me at the next zoo? I'll be posting the Cincinnati Zoo video very soon, so subscribe to be notified when that happens. That would mean the world to me, and if you're still watching at this point, thank you so much.
Just got here to Cincinnati, first time checking into a hotel by myself. Pretty great. Check out this view. Home Depot parking lot. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. This is it, check that out. Big suite, just me. Art, TV, mini fridge. These are all standard things.
The excitement did not last long.
I'm in my hotel room and I don't have anything to do, so I'm gonna go buy stuff.
I looked up where can I buy CDs near me, and I went there. It was a little record store, and I bought a Patti Smith CD from 1987. Then I went to Meijer to get some food.
Heading into Meijer now. Hopefully gonna get some dinner or something, I don't know. Sushi, if they got it. We'll see. They got it, y'all. They got the sushi. That little record store had a show going on today, so I think I might go see that at 8 o'clock. It's about 6:30 now. 4 zoos in 4 days. That's what this trip is. I just went to the Indianapolis Zoo. Tomorrow I go to the Cincinnati Zoo. And I'm about halfway to my destination, which is Maryland. I still have 3 more zoos to go. And I'm feeling great. Feeling good. This is a good trip so far. Cheers. Wasabi.
I don't know what possessed me to go to this metal show because I was the only non-parent in the audience, but people are going to follow their dreams, and it's nice enough to encourage them to do so. I did not stay for the second show.
I can't hear.
I couldn't really hear anything, but I did have the energy still to go and get some snacks. I was right there, and I didn't know if I would have another chance to get some snacks on my journey, which is crazy because I would have, of course. But when in Cincinnati, I suppose. Tomorrow I'm going to the Cincinnati Zoo, and I had to turn in early. I got a big day ahead of me, and once again, thank you for watching. Subscribe and like, and thank you so much. Thank you so much.